afraid to walk up to guys that you like, because guys like that shit.
This is so true, and literally worst case scenario, if the man isn't interested in you, you're gonna politely decline. But you will probably make his week, because women never approach. So the chances of you getting a yes from him are actually pretty high.
When a man wants to go 50-50 with you on a date, do this. Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed right now. Wait, you wanted to just be friends? I'm so confused. This whole entire time I thought this was a date. Oh my god. Okay, I'm so sorry. Here's my card.
Really? If you're really that against paying, just say so. In fact, say so in text or call before you even go on the date. You don't need to do these weird things to trick him into paying. Are you gonna do something like that every time he wants to do something that you don't want to do? Because he'll catch on to that real quick. If him paying means that much to you, being nice and respectful about it, and actually being interested in him as a person will increase your chances of that. So many men are kind and easygoing. You really just don't need to play games with them. Just be open and communicate. That's usually enough to get what you want. I will never understand where this advice comes from. It's not attractive or cute or funny. You try to rub in your dating options to a guy. Trust me, if you're truly that great, he already knows. He knows you've got other men that want you. He doesn't need to be reminded or told every day. That just makes you look really insecure. And that makes him lose respect for you.
I only make about $50,000 a year, so the standard is way too high.
Right? If women want to have more money so they can have a fancier lifestyle, I don't see why they can't work, and then you guys can combine income. So many women don't want to work. If you want something specific, that's a great way to do it. Be partners. Work together. Asking one person to provide everything is a lot to ask for. And the reality is, most women want a guy making over $100K a year, and that's such a small fraction, especially when you take the 6-foot requirement into account as far as height goes. This is awesome. Feels comfortable enough with you to tell you exactly what he likes. You're under no obligation to follow all of his preferences if you don't want to. I mean, you're obviously thin now. He also likes the alternative. So this just proves, love you either way. Right? This works great for the men that want to play games. But when you're upfront and honest about what you want in a relationship, the man either wants the same thing as you, is willing to compromise, or you can just walk away. So you don't spend a lot of time dating people who don't want the same thing as you. Oftentimes, when you trick a person into chasing you, it just turns into a long-term game that's not good for anybody. A lot of good men won't play that game because they can see right through that kind of thing. They're looking for a good relationship, not someone who will do stuff like this to them. Right? This type of thing happens all the time. It just proves men look for a lot more than just your appearance. A lot of women are obsessed with the idea that he only cares about appearance. That couldn't be further from the truth. Men want the same thing a lot of women do, an actual partner. Right? And to think a lot of women want men to just marry them right off the bat without even showing them an idea of what kind of wife they would be. Relationships, we should be a little bit more realistic on what we can bring to the table. Be honest with our partner about it. They don't get their hopes up for something specific that they won't actually get.
If you guys break up and still can't leave each other alone, you belong together.
You don't belong with anybody specific, and you can be compatible with multiple people in your lifetime. You broke up for a reason, and unless those things are fixed, there's no point in getting back together. I understand that this type of lifestyle looks very appealing to a lot of women. But here's the problem. If you find a man that will provide you this type of lifestyle and you can stay home, obviously it's not toxic if it's mutual and both people agree on it. But you put yourself in a very vulnerable state, because you'll probably give up on your career. And sure, that seems like no big deal, but if the relationship doesn't work out, you could have moved up in that company and now you have nothing. If you do break up, how will you financially support yourself? If you're not married, he can just throw you out. You're not entitled to anything. This limits your ability to walk away from a potential relationship that you don't want to be in. Ladies, when I talk about not being the type of woman that uses men, I'm not only doing it for men's benefit, I'm also doing it for your benefit.
Is the biggest issue that men face here in 2022?
Not a guy, but I'm going to answer this question anyways. For me, I would struggle if I were a guy to see all this content geared towards hating men. That would be hard to see on a daily basis. I feel like it'd be easy to ignore at first. Eventually it would start getting under your skin a little bit. It seems like no matter what men do, it's never considered good enough or right. Someone will find something wrong with what they did, or call it bare minimum. A lot of women will meet a man who doesn't want the level of commitment that they want. And instead of moving on with their lives and respecting his decision, they try to change him or trick him into commitment. And then they wonder why the relationship fails. We always talk about how we want men to respect our boundaries, but then we don't respect the boundaries of men. We're literally taught to not respect the boundaries of men. How is that fair?
Go to a florist, get some proper $100 bouquet of flowers. Spend some money, you cheeky.
A lot of non-toxic women just want flowers. We won't even notice if they're from a fancy florist, or if you pay $10 or $600. Like, yeah, the amount of flowers kind of give us a hint on how much it costs. A lot of women who truly care about you feel loved and appreciated just getting the flowers. You could literally pick some pretty sunflowers off the side of the road, and that's good enough for us. And I know it seems silly. They don't last forever. They just sit there. Something about flowers really makes a woman feel loved and that her efforts are appreciated. You don't need to buy fancy flowers. And a woman that expects that probably isn't worth your time.